All right. So for today, I just want to have uh, a discussion prior to this uh, implementation of the Department of Educations that can help us uh, mentor teachers, okay, in having this quality instruction and even assessment for the learners. Okay. So and that is solo. What is this solo means? Okay. So solo stands for structure of the observed learning outcomes and was developed by John Biggs and Kevin Coles. So it means that this solo is an international program or uh, tool, okay, that was adopted by the Department of Education. So in simple terms, the taxonomy presents a systematic way to describe how learner performance grows in complexity when mastering tasks in educational setting. Okay, so it involves it is also a taxonomy. So if we have the Bloom's taxonomy, we have the Solow taxonomy. So used for a systematic way in describing how learner performance grows, right? So mastering the task. It defines levels of increasing complexity in a learner understanding one idea. Learners may not exhibit all stages. Biggs describe it as a framework for understanding. Again, Biggs describe it as a framework for understanding. It seeks to provide a way to identify connections that learners make with each level adding more. All, all right, so what is it? What is this solo? So solo is an acronym that stands for structure of the observed learning outcome. Structure of the observed learning outcome. Okay. A means of classifying learning outcomes in terms of their complexity, enabling us to assess students' work in terms of its quality, not of how many bits of this and all that they got right. So uh, it's about the classifying the learning outcomes of the students, okay, in terms of the complexity, okay, enabling us to assess, okay, the students' work. So it's not about how many rights, okay, they got. That's about seeing the level of difficulties. Okay, that's it. Okay, the stages of solo. Okay, what are the stages of solo? So we have pre-structural. Okay, we have pre-structural, unistructural, multi-structural, relational, extended abstract. So the pre-structural, the student acquires bits of unconnected information that have no organization and make no sense. This is not a stage that we want to foster through questioning, so we will not pursue it further. So yeah, the students uh, can answer, say for example, a certain question, but it's out of it has no connection, or he or she can tell a lot of answer, but not exactly hitting the proper or the correct answer for that question. So he or she can tell a lot of things out of the box. So unistructural. Students make simple and obvious connections between pieces of information. Okay, unistructural students make simple and obvious connections between pieces of information. Okay, so for example, you ask, okay, how many seconds are there in 1 minute? So that's it. Unistructural, the students have this. One simple answer prior to your question. Okay, so say for example, uh, yeah, going back to the question earlier. Okay, what is uh, what is an orange? What is the color of the orange fruit? What is the color of the orange fruit? So in that question, what is the color of the orange fruit? So he or she have this already uh, one simple answer prior to that. Okay, so he or she may tell it it's color orange. Okay, so that's it. So he or she had already just one answer. Next, multi-structural. A number of connections are made, but not that meta connections between them. So, multi-structural. Okay, the students can have these answers to your questions, but somewhat they are not most likely connected to each other. Okay, so that's it. While relational, the students use the significance of how the various pieces of information relate to one another. Okay, so relational, the connectionism or the connection happens. So, say for example, your question, okay, all right, like this. Uh, if x plus 2 is equals to 5, what is now the value of x? So, the students may have a lot of the students may have a lot of ideas prior to it. Then also, okay, he can relate that one to many things. Okay, he or she wanted. So that's it. The moment that the students can relate that, uh, or the moment that the students can relate his or her answer to something, then that the students learn more, know more about this question. Okay, and this is part of the higher uh, order thinking skills. The next, we go with the extended abstract. At this level, students can make connections beyond the scope of the problem or question to generalize or transfer learning into a new situation. Okay, next. Why use solo? Why use solo or why not use solo? Solo is a true hierarchic taxonomy, increasing in quantity and quality of thought. Solo is a powerful tool in differentiating curriculum and providing cognitive challenge for learners. Solo allows teachers and learners to ask deeper questions without creating new ones. Solo is a powerful metacognitive tool. Right. Okay, so this is an example of a typical example of answers per certain question. So when we go to the pre-structural, the students are not sure about the subject, okay, of what is being studied, of what is being asked. But when you go to unistructural, so you can see you have that one bar. The students have one idea about the subject. So the students can answer one a simple answer to your question. But when we go to multi-structural, I have several ideas about the subject. So the students have a lot of ideas, a lot of answers prior to your questions. But as earlier said, okay, they may not be connected to each other. Next, when we go to relational, as you can see, we have the three bar. with the connections above and below. So the students here can link his or her ideas together to see the big picture. So the students can have this connection, okay, or the students can relate, okay, his or her answer, okay, for more quality answer. Okay, next, extended abstract. I can look at these ideas in a new and a different way. So here, the students can apply in real life situation. Okay, what is he studied or what he knows or she knows. They can apply that one in real life situation, right? So this explains how this pre-structural, unistructural, multi-structural, relational, extended abstract works. Okay. So again, the assessment tool, A, the most desirable is the extended abstract. Why? Because the students are able to evaluate their decisions and reflect on the results. The very satisfactory is relational. The students is able to apply, recognize, and understand content. C, moderately satisfactory is the multi-structural. Why? The students understand and discuss meaningfully. Bare plus satisfactory, the unistructural, evidence of some effort, but student misunderstood some of their instructions. So, yeah, there is learning, and that is evident, but yeah, student misunderstood some of the instruction. Okay, that's it. And thank you guys. Hope you can subscribe to my channel. Okay.